All right, message to all you companies who are trying to shift your workers onto these healthcare exchanges. Don't look now, but the shift has hit the fan. Welcome, everybody. I'm Neil Cavuto. The administration ruling that any company that tries to just move over workers to any one of these exchanges, you might have to pay up to $36,000 per worker per year for that sort of thing. It's a big 180 that has us asking what other rules are changing sort of on the fly. To the woman who's been all over this and catching a lot of stuff that a lot of us missed, maybe because she read the whole thing, also in Latin, which is kind of weird. The former New York Lieutenant Governor Betsy McCoy says this whole mess is going to lead to an even bigger mess and maybe even a bailout. We also have our Fox All-Stars coming up with us very soon. Lauren Simonetti, we've got Scott Martin and Tracy Burns. Okay, Betsy, to you on this ruling and what it means. A lot of companies were saying, we'll give you cash to find a plan to your liking on your own. Now they come back, the administration says, no can do.
That's right. It really slammed the door on one of the three options employers were hoping they'd have. Employers who are subject to the employer mandate, they either have to provide the essential benefit package as defined by the law, or if their workers went to the exchange and qualified for a subsidy, they'd be hit with a $2,000 per employee fine.
But a lot of them were open to the fine because it'd be a hell of a lot cheaper.
Oh, of course.
Not when it's $36,000.
Exactly. But then the third option was, okay, we'll give our employees cash, let them go to the exchange and pay for their coverage with pre-tax dollars. Well, that is what the IRS is saying. Oh, no, 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 no.
What if they weren't pre-tax dollars?
Well, then it's just going to be part of their W-2. It's going to be part of their salary, and they can do what they want. But it's the attempt to pay with pre-tax dollars to call this a health benefit.
So in this case, it sounds like you kind of agree with what the administration's saying.
Of course not. This is a tax hike for workers, and it narrows options for employers.
But the companies, here's where the companies look bad. Those that were trying to take advantage of this were trying to get a write-off for something that was shifting onto the government.
Employers have always done that. This is going to call into question the continued existence of health savings accounts.
Okay, well, they haven't leapt to that point yet, but you're saying that's what's next.
That's what's under the shadows.
So companies that were trying to jettison workers, even the sick ones, that's not an option now.
No, of course not. But more than that, this really limits an employer's ability to say to employees, we'll pick up the cost of your health care with pre-tax dollars, just as we've always done.
So that's removed. What happens?
That's removed. So now there are only two options. Employers must obey the mandate and go for the one-size-fits-all costly essential benefit plan, or their workers will go on the exchange and they'll be hit with the penalties depending on...
Well, let's bring our colleagues in here. Tracy Burns, this sounds like the government trying to contain a jailbreak.
It sounds like a money grab, though. Betsy, could they pay the employees after-tax dollars and then ostensibly gross them up to cover the taxes? Maybe that still ends up cheaper.
It probably is, because these essential benefit packages add, on average, $1.79 an hour to the cost of hiring someone. Well, that's okay if you're hiring bankers or stockbrokers, but not when you're hiring busboys and waiters and receptionists.
What about all the companies that got waivers or special allowances in the fast food industry to provide coverage?
Those have expired. And
so what happens to them?
Oh, well, they're the ones who are going to dump their workers. And you might expect...
Can they now without facing a penalty?
Oh, yes, they will. Well, they'll get the $2,000 per worker.
But not the $36,000.
No.
Neil, now those businesses are being forced to hire all these accountants and actuarial people to figure out, kind of to Tracy's point, how much they have to pay additionally to cover all this stuff. Because with all these mandates coming down now, with the change of the fee of the $2,000 of the full-time employee, these businesses are completely lost when it comes to figuring out what their actual cost is to be accommodative or be under the guise of the ACA.
Well, let's also look at this from the workers' point of view. You can expect that somewhere between 15 and 25 million workers who get on-the-job coverage are going to lose it later this year.
Why? Why is that again?
Well, because employers are going to look at the cost of this Obamacare package, which costs much more than what they're currently offering, and they're going to say, I can't afford that. Go to the exchange and I'll pay the penalty if you qualify for the subsidy.
But there's a big difference between paying the $2,000 penalty and the $36,000
Yes, the $36,000 penalty is really like a civil fine for attempting to provide the health care with pre-tax dollars.
But if you don't do that, here's where I'm a little slow. The $2,000 fine is the max.
That's a cakewalk.
All right, so that's where people are going to go, Lauren. It sounds
Well, I'm just thinking about the IRS here, kind of making up the rules as they go along. Is that just
Well,
me,
they're
or
calling it a clarification.
That's a hell of a clarification.
Yes, it is.
But I think Scott makes a great point. I mean, they're going to find a loophole to this. They're not going to pay. They're not going to get involved with this Obamacare. Companies are going to figure this out, and they're going to hire people. And man, if you're an accountant getting out of college right now, I say specialize in Obamacare because you will get yourself a job.
Hey, good idea.
Great point.
Very, very sad. All right, guys, we'll watch this, but it is not right. And now the other scandal that's developing, the one going on at the Veterans Administration. Let's say you find some problems. Let's say you feel that you've been personally burnt by this. Think you can sue the VA? You think you can sue the government? 2 words, good luck.